Sorry, guys. Amazon was at the door. Oh, God, Amazon. They have taken over everything. I mean, I love them, but it's rough. Let me see what she did. Sorry, guys. But I've spent a lot of time in my life, like I was trying to say, trying to please other people and trying to put on airs and make sure that my image and that my what's happening? Amazon came to the door and anyway, it's all good. We're back. Sorry. But I've spent a lot of time in my life trying to please other people and be a people pleaser. And it's funny because last night I did I recorded with a good friend of mine named Tiffany, and it was about rejection. And it's such a good. If you're just coming into the video, like the video. Thank you, guys. It was such a good video that we did because I recognize that my rejection throughout life, rejection is not necessarily a negative thing. We look at it as negative, but it can certainly be turned into a positive. But a lot of my rejection turned into trying to be a people pleaser. Be mindful that they're going to hear that when you put it down. I'm just letting you know. So I loved it because it showed me that I was certainly a people pleaser for a long time. And because of that, it drains you. It takes a lot out of you. You don't say things when you need to say things. You don't speak up when it's important. And when you do speak, people don't tend to hear you or listen because you have suppressed yourself so long and allowed them to just kind of say and do whatever. So when you start to speak up, it's very uncomfortable, especially if you've given them the floor or given them the opportunity before, but they didn't utilize it in a positive way. Trust me, baby girl, we've tried to have conversations. I've tried. I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to have screaming matches with people. I'm not going to fight over things to me that are not worth it. Like, I'm not gaining anything from this understanding. To me, hey, Bree, say good morning, Mom.
Hey, Bree.
So I'm not going to fight or get riled up over things that are not going to serve me or not conducive to me.
Not healthy at all.
As far as being like damaging or things that I'm saying being damaging, just like they said to Gayle King, you know, when Oprah told on the interview, when they asked her how Gayle was doing and Oprah said she's not doing well, Gayle made a decision to ask the question she asked and in the way she asked about the late Kobe Bryant. You know, she didn't know the backlash she was going to receive. She thought that was going to kick up her views. And it reared them up, but she wasn't ready for the backlash. Now, what I would say to her and what everyone has said to Oprah is Kobe Bryant's wife is also going through a difficult time. She's having a hard time. So that's the same thing I would say. If someone was to ask me, tell me that I'm doing more damage by telling my truth, by sharing my experience, something I own, I would say I've been damaged for over 33 years at the hands of people who were supposed to love me, and supposed to care for me, or I was in the care of. So now that I'm telling my story, now that they feel exposed in some manner, I really cannot cater to that at this time. That's not my intention. My intention is to get over the shit. That's really where I'm at with it. And I've tried to address it in the past, and other things, strange things have happened. You know what I mean? People know information and they use it. And that's why my mom, every time I say that, she says that. Oh, and they use it against you. And they use it against you. And I never try to go back to that. But Mom has constantly said that. Have you noticed that you say that constantly?
Yes, I do.
Because you believe that people knowing things about you or experiencing with others, they've tried to be malicious on the back end.
Yeah, but you know what? I came to my own truth with it. And what was back then was back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What you living now, you're living. Yeah. And then I'm taking what I'm living now and what I'm feeling now, and I'm moving with it.
And mine is a great example because with your substance abuse, one thing you said to me yesterday is it happened. I did it. Like, how can I? I can't Well, obviously you shouldn't dwell on it. You should release it, but it's a process. You didn't that didn't happen overnight.
No,
so this
it
is
didn't.
A process.
Clearly.
So, but one thing I really liked about
that.
what you said is your accountability. You said, and you haven't always been there to be able to be accountable. But one thing you said is, I did it. So how can I feel upset about you saying something about it? Now, it's one thing if you're living differently now, and every time you turn around, somebody tries to bring it up. Oh, you remember this? You remember that? Because that means they haven't dealt with whatever. And that could be something they need to address. But when you are a person who has had experiences and you're not able to address them or able to be real with yourself,
yes, baby.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't try to pull everybody else's flaws out and you're not ready to pull yours. And I always say, I'll talk to a person. I've been more than willing. I've been telling my mom for years that I would talk to this family member that I felt so strongly about or had indiscretions about. But I said, when I talk to her, she has to be really ready and open. Just like I'm ready and open to hear her, she has to be really ready and open to hear what I have to say.
Most people not.
And
they don't want to hear it.
Most people are not. They don't want to hear it. They want people to hear the narratives that they have. And that's not where I'm coming from. But it's interesting to me because as a child, this person can't say I ever did anything to them that was wrong. Child, teenager, adult, I've never wronged done them. So I'm trying to understand and it's always kind of, there are two sides to a story, or there are, but I don't understand what could be done on that side to make it that way. So, and that's why I said when it comes to my mother, when it comes to my grandmother, when it comes to these people who came before me, there was a whole life that happened prior to me being on this earth. Exactly. How stupid would it sound for me to tell, for instance, one of my aunts or one of my great aunts, something that she told me about you is not true. I can't tell her that. I don't know. I wasn't present.
Until you know.
I wasn't present. So if it bothers you to that degree, go ask. Go ask what's happening to
whether they tell you the truth or not. That's
on them. But I think for me, my priority at this time is not being validated anymore. I'm past that. I mean, validation is important though. It's very important because especially when trauma happens, just like I've been through trauma not having you in my life all this time. And your presence has validated me. Because you have let me know, even though I'm 33 years old, you let me know it wasn't okay what happened. I apologize. I never wanted you to feel these different ways. So that validation is important. It's important in people's mental health and the growth. And me validating you to say, you were in a circumstance that you were just really backed into a corner, for instance, by my grandmother. That validates you to say, so you're not, it's not, I mean, even though you still take accountability for your actions, you're like, there's a reason for everything. There's a response. And so that validates you. But there is a point in people's relationships where validation no longer matters because it's a very short period of time. So for instance, let's give another example. Had you not came to the decision that you wanted to come south and out of that lifestyle and really build our relationship to this where we're at and we're going to continue. Say 20 years additional pass. And I was 50 or 60 and, I may not be looking for that validation from you anymore. And I might be okay with wherever we are. And so the thing is, sometimes when you're in a relationship with someone, whatever that relationship may be, if you're just joining us, like the video, you may have to X out of the chat and go back in and just X out of the chat to like it. But when you get to a certain age, you necessarily don't seek validation anymore. And that's where I'm at with that family member. I don't need to be consoled at this point. I'm healing within myself. I'm dealing, because I've been left alone with these feelings for a long time. So it's like, now that they're out on Front Street, you want to talk about it. Because I've given the opportunity to talk about it many times before. I've shared so much of myself many times before. So at this point, at 33, when I've been hustling and doing everything on my own at this point, I don't need it. I don't need it anymore. At this point, it would just cause me grief and stress. And I just don't need no more of that, to be honest. with that being said, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with it.
Up front with what your truth and where you going. It's okay to feel those feelings and to touch bases back. But when you moving forward, you got to keep your what's up front right here and right here. You understand? What do I see? What can I reach? What can I touch? What do I really want out of all of this?
And I think people really
feel good about me and my relationship with her. So when I do leave this earth, I'm clearly okay with mine.
Okay. And I think people really missed that the topic of last live was fear.
Fear.
It was about things that you have, ways that you have just suppressed yourself because of fear. The reasons why, the whole reason why that was discussed is because I wanted to share where some of that fear may have come from. Okay. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate that person. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. They may have touched many people's lives in a positive way, but I just shared my experience.
So stop taking things
that's what it is.
Move the fuck on.
And that's what it is. So thanks, guys. But anyway, no, it's okay. No, it is. I'm okay with it. It's sad that people think they know me so well. I don't. First of all, you don't know me. You don't really know me. And I just feel like you're not privy enough to enough information to make statements that are
out there.
The wall. You just weren't there. You just weren't there. Like, I would never discount somebody else's experience, especially if I wasn't present. First of all, you really can't discount somebody's experience anyway. If I say something to you and you tell me later that hurt my feelings, I can't say, no, it didn't hurt your feelings. I'm not feeling you. I can't tell you that. Especially what I can say is that wasn't my intention to hurt your feelings. Okay. The other piece on top of that is, if I'm not present and an incident has occurred, how can I comment on the incident? Like, that sounds stupid to me. You cannot. You don't know anything about what's happening. Good morning, all. Let me not lurk. Shamir, that is okay. You can lurk, boo, but I'm happy you spoke. Baby. I'm happy you spoke. We love you all. If you are just coming into the video, like the video. You may have to exit out of the chat and come back in. But you guys tell me times when you felt like you could not, you were not heard, or somebody really, really misunderstood you, or couldn't take what you were saying. Couldn't take what you were saying. Could not just understand where you were coming from. Have you guys kept secrets about yourself and your family or your friends that have been really detrimental to you in life? And why? And I'll tell you that many of the secrets that I've kept, first of all, one part of it is I thought that people were aware. A lot of the things that I have kept to myself and not talked about a lot is because I thought that everybody was privy to the information, but just weren't doing anything about it. So I guess when you feel like that, you're like, what's the purpose? So what's the purpose of speaking on it? Because everybody already knows anyway. But that wasn't necessarily the truth. Right. In addition to that, I think that I didn't feel like I had a lot of control. I was a child most of this time, and then young adult. So, I was under someone else's care. I mean, what am I going to say and do? And I've always been taught to respect adults. As I got older, that started to change because I realized that even though you're an adult, you have a voice. Not only do I have a voice, but you have to learn. You have to earn respect. Not just because you have years on me. You have to earn respect.
Watch what you say too. But do ask. Do come to some understanding between each other. If you don't get it, then they don't want it. So we move on.
Right. So yeah, that for me is huge. But do you guys feel that it's important to be able to, and I gotta make that payment, it's important to be able to talk about things that have occurred, like happened in your life? Do you think that can be beneficial, just to be able to talk about it? Not everything. You think it can
belong to everything?
Everything can.
I think everything don't belong in the public's eye, but so if something is clearly bothering you, then you need to express it, but in a way that they can understand it. You understand? And if they don't,
Who?
then
The person that you may have an
anyone.
issue with?
Anyone, what I'm talking about, boy, girl, anything.
What are you saying though? Like if you are in a situation,
Right,
and somebody caused you harm or didn't understand what you were saying, you're saying that
at the time,
you don't think that everything is for the public, but you need to try to have a conversation with them in a way that they understand. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
If they can understand you. If they can't understand you, then they're not ready for it at the time.
Yeah.
And you can't make people be where you're at. So some people you just need to leave there until they're ready for it. You understand? So
Do you feel like harboring anger is dangerous?
It's dangerous on their part.
Do y'all feel like harboring anger is dangerous?
Maybe. Maybe so, but not so much. Okay, because you're not want not somewhat. If you don't have nothing to do and you ain't done dirty to people, you shouldn't have nothing to worry about.
But then you wouldn't be angry anymore.
It's no need to be angry.
So then you're not harboring it, because harboring means you're holding it in.
Right.
If you don't feel any, you don't feel anything towards the situation, then you're not harboring it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I would say harboring.
Let it go.
Yeah, harboring. And I think that apart from me, and I think it looks different for everybody, but for me, letting go is releasing it.
Exactly.
Because I have been so silent about so many things and just kept them inside and internalized them. That's been very damaging to me. So I think that me saying things out loud makes people think that I'm trying to hurt them, when really it's just because I'm really just trying to release it. And I have dealt with it already. I've already come to terms with a lot of the stuff and understand people to be who they are. So I don't necessarily see it that way. And I think that is problematic for a lot of people. My goals are totally about this right here and this right here. These are my two priorities. I want to get my health together. I want to get my activity together. I want to get my mind right. My mind, y'all. The mind is very powerful. It will fuck you up. The mind will mess you up.
So don't try to just the outside, just the inside first.
I think the inside is the biggest part. I talked about that I talked about that on Tuesday. We'll be talking about nutrition. But as far as the weight loss challenge, and guys, if you have not sent me your emails, and I'm on GroupMe right now, so if you have your GroupMe, let me know so I can add you to the group for our weight loss challenge, because we are starting a weight loss challenge tomorrow, and I need to get it popping. Y'all, it is deep. Getting yourself together mentally is very difficult. I'm super excited because I have a therapy appointment on Monday. Haven't had a therapy appointment in over a year. And so I'm super excited about it. I'm going to be able to talk to a professional about a lot of the issues I'm having. Maybe be able to come and have some perspective that's different for you guys than even today, because that's going to be tomorrow. Like, you guys don't even know right now.
And I'm ecstatic. I've always been afraid of therapy, but it's not as bad as you think. I'm telling you, it's good. It's a healing, but you got to get the right therapist, and you got to know what you're dealing with when you're going in there. Okay, so you can be able to talk about everything that's bothering you, so you can come out of it. If you can't come out of it, then you're not healing. If you bring it out when you go, then you're not healing. But you can take it to your life, and you can hurt people. You understand? And you don't mean to hurt them. But if it helps you, then it's time to do what you got to do. That's it. Okay.
Chrissy said, TD Jake said, you can only give people love they allow. If someone gives you a gallon size love, then that's what you give. But if they give you a teaspoon size, that's what you give. Because everyone is not going to be deserving. Release it, mama.
Hello.
Yeah.
Loving what you're saying, Mom. Loving that.
Yeah.
Loving that.
Yeah. And I just want to be my authentic self. I just want to be happy. That's honestly what my goals are. And I found that a lot of my unhappiness has come from me trying to, like I said, please others and do what I think others need. And it's interesting because I feel like that same regard has not been taken from me. You know, I've done all this work trying to make sure that people are comfortable and they don't feel ostracized and they don't feel sad or whatever. But that is not the same courtesy is not done for me. So at this point, I'm being courteous to self and making sure that I am going to be okay.
You hear that?
I think, and I don't mean this to sound ugly,
Selfish,
but if you are taking care of yourself, if you are not dependent on anyone else, I don't know why you would feel the need to make such a big stink out of something. I don't on either party. I don't understand that. But I guess that's just like a thing. I don't feel entitled to anything. I don't feel like anybody owes me anything. And I think that has helped me a lot. Survival has helped me with that. Good morning, Terry. Oh my gosh. I don't think you've been able to join us yet. And I'm so happy you're here. Chrissy said, I did that. And Bam, please don't do that anymore because you will lose yourself. Girl, I have. And it was so hard on me mentally and spiritually. Like you kind of lay alone in your bed at night and you're like, why am I going through all of that? Why am I dealing with that? So why is this person not seeing what I'm trying to do? Or why are they making decisions that they're making? Soon I'm going to do a video on, they're just speaking to each other. They're speaking to each other. Soon I'm going to do a video on some of the things that I've experienced so you guys can get a more in-depth look at what I'm talking about. So you guys, my loves, can understand. I'm not really looking for validation from anyone. I just more so want you guys to understand the story and the progression and how things kind of went down for me. Eventually I am going to write a book, but right now I'm just documenting. And honestly, everything that comes out of my mouth, I don't plan it, which sometimes I do, but I really don't. It's really what's on my heart. It's really what you guys, place there, because there are little seeds, especially Chrissy. She plants these little seeds and then I bloom and I'm like, oh, and so sometimes I'll look back at videos and be like, I didn't even know I had, addressed that or gotten there. So I'm really happy about it.
We grow too. Believe that.
Yeah. And especially with Mom, I think that sometimes even us communicating, like she constantly is saying to me, like, I'm learning this and I'm learning that. I didn't know this about you. And it really is impactful. Because how can someone, it's perfect. Like, how can someone say to you, this is how you are? You have no idea. You can't judge somebody unless you are with them on a daily. And I think that, and I want to know where you're coming from, because there were times when I was very hurt by Mom because she would say things to me or do things to me. And I would be like, how could you? Or I don't understand where you're coming from.
Not knowing.
But it was because you did not know. Mm-hmm. And your presence here has allowed you to see how I live, the type of people I'm around, what I do on a daily basis. I don't need, someone else's validation when I have people who truly love me and care for me.
And that's a fact.
And
that's so factual.
And, why I have been able to exist the way I have is because I've built a supportive system that gives me positivity and doesn't talk crazy, doesn't talk negative, is not, about tearing people down. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do either, so I wondered, so you're saying that all had to do with you just not really knowing what was happening.
Yeah, because when you're in a fog, you think you know, but you don't. You don't know what the hell is going on. Mm-hmm. You just in your own world, trying to forget or trying not to feel or trying to just capture anything. Mm-hmm. And then when you in there all alone and no one is there, everything comes right here. And then it hit here. So hello, that's when you say, do I want to be here? Do I want to stay this way? Mm-hmm. Clearly not. Mm-hmm. Not when I'm hurting myself and the loved ones that I don't even know I'm touching from far. Mm-hmm. Okay? And when you come in it, it's so beautiful that you never know why you stayed away from it. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Mm.
because that world wouldn't allow you to stay away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So
So that's clearly the beat.
my
And I'm
question
going at.
is,
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
let's
Build
see.
yourself.
Good morning,
and
ladies.
not
Build
self.
yourself up. It's not self. It's just self-preservation.
Patient.
That's a fact. Absolutely, Patricia. Hey, girl. I guess part of me is like, how much of your life has been built on shame? Like, how many decisions have you made based on
shame,
on being ashamed, or
what? You're not ashamed because
Mhm.
when you're in it, you think you're feeling good, and you're feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's clearly
Physically,
the first reason why you did.
the chemicals make you feel good. Physically.
Yeah, but they don't last. You got to keep them up, keep them up, keep them up. And if you can't keep them up, then you're thirsting for it.
Yeah.
So otherwise than that, but you can feel good outside of that, like real stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Real stuff that you ain't got to pay for.
Word.
To feel good.
And it's something that a lot of people ask
and we forget. We forget all of that.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people ask me that. They ask me, how are you able to just be okay with everything that's happened? And I have I have one of the biggest hearts. It may not seem like that, but I really have a huge heart.
True story.
And it's hard on me when people come at me sometimes, because I have a big heart and I have changed myself a lot, because I used to be a very fiery individual. Like, I'm talking about ready to throw hands, ready to get down. But I recognize, especially in my maturity, that's not actually getting anywhere. I mean, it might make me, again, same way as you, feel good in the moment. But really, it doesn't solve anything. It causes more damage. And so
jail.
All kinds of things I might have to deal with. Absolutely.
We don't want to see those words.
I really want my mom to be healthy, and have always wanted that. I know she's commented that she has friends that their kids won't even look at them, won't even talk to them. I think a lot of people's issues with me and my mom is I think it's strange, because when you think about two individuals, a mother bringing someone into the world, it's expected that she will care and guide that child
to adulthood.
And when people kind of encourage the opposite of that for their own gain is strange.
And I'm gonna tell you, the love stayed there, even though there was some angry moments, up moments, down moments. The love stayed there because I guess missing someone keeps them like, why they can't come home.
The thing is, every child wants their parent. No matter what they say out of their mouth, they want their parent. Even if they express it in anger or upset, it's because they yearn for their parent. They want them to get it together. Especially, if it's drugs or alcohol or a man or a woman holding between. Every child wants their parent to be okay. And so what a lot of people do is they work as hard as they can, either to make the relationship work, or they Kim said very true. Absolutely. They work as hard as they can to make the relationship work, or they totally reject the idea of having a relationship as a defense mechanism to try to make themselves feel better about what their parent is not doing. So they don't, and that has a lot to do with rejection.
Yeah, but then it started internalizing and they're killing themselves.
Yes, they are. And that's what the parents don't realize. Once I think the parents put down their selfish ways, they're like, I'm really fucking up my kid. Like, I've done this, and it has lifetime damages. The rejection from a parent can affect you long term. Like, where you don't deal with rejection from other people well. And that's what I was talking about in Tiffany's video last night, and that'll air on her channel. Mm-hmm. But basically, for years, I had a hard time with rejection. I always looked at it like it was this negative thing. And in reality, rejection should push you. You should be comfortable to ask for, if somebody says no to this job or gives you a no here, you should feel comfortable asking them, why is it no? Why is it no? Can I get some feedback so I can do better next time? Or so I can have better. But I never was there because I just felt like I was not worthy. I didn't feel, if your parents are not there for you, the people that brought you into the world, the people that are supposed to love you unconditionally, why would you feel like you deserve love from anyone else? I mean, you would feel like automatically you don't have value.
That's so not true.
And it's not. And one thing that my mom even has to tell me now sometimes is, she'll say, "You're beautiful," and I'll be like, "Oh, okay." And she'll be like, "No, you're beautiful," and I'll be like, "Okay," And
sometimes a hug will suffice.
Yeah, it will. Let's see. I did foster care for 15 years, and no matter what the parents did, the kids loved them.
Okay,
it's real, and that's true. And then they get it may come out as anger. Terry, that is beautiful. It may come out as anger, but they really are. It's just mismanaged love. They don't know what to do. Okay, Chrissy. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. We love you too.
Right.
And I'm gonna get that PO box. Like I said, I think it's very selfish though of parents not to see what their children and not to face their children, which is why I think that at this time in my life, it is so powerful that my mother is really facing her fears. Addressing these things and taking accountability.
I backed up off.
You know what I mean? It's huge to me. So for anyone to think that this has something to do with them and not me and not her, you're mistaken. And I don't mean that to be ugly, but it's not about anybody else except me and her, period, right now. I'm just trying to get to a higher level of understanding myself, a higher level of comfort with myself, with my mother, trying to help her heal within her damage and her hurt, trying to heal myself within damage and hurt. Let me tell you something else that somebody told me a long time ago. And Jabrita was the first person that really introduced this to me. Mm-hmm. And actually, I think you told me about 10 years ago too. When you have issues, you should not put it on your family, friends, and your partner all the time. Obviously, they are an outlet for you to go talk to. But it's not fair to do that. It's not fair to dump on them. To be honest, you need to see a professional, someone who is not. That's right. Somebody who is not invested in the situation, who can tell you an outside perspective, who can give you more. Because you going and talking to your family sometimes, talking to your spouse,
talking out of emotion.
They are talking out of emotion. You cannot sometimes get where you need to get, and so it's important that you are trying to really, really understand the root of an issue and really want to heal. And so in that healing, us talking to each other, even me coming to you guys and we are having church therapy right now. Me asking my mom, hey, why did you make decisions you made, things, and her answering. And I hope that it can help you guys. If you even have questions for us, please ask, because they're not going to do anything but help us.
And in turn, hoping that it help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting because I think that people just get comfortable.
Come together.
Yes.
All the pieces.
People get comfortable in their spaces, whatever they may be, and they'll live their whole life that way. And they'll say, well, I'm not comfortable. I don't like what's happening, but you are, because you're not trying to make any changes. I don't want to get it confused or misunderstood. Like, I have still a lot of work to do, and I'm not perfect.
Me too.
So something that I say, it's not to say that I think it's absolutely 100% the way it needs to be. And if you're just coming into the video, like the video, you just have to close out of the chat potentially, and then go back in and like the video, because sometimes the chat won't let you see the like button. But I really do appreciate this time with you guys, where you kind of allow us to come and have feedback and talk about these issues, because to be honest, for many years, I didn't know how to handle them. And I'm still working through a lot of them. Specifically, chemicals like drugs, food have chemicals too. Mm-hmm. It is a battle to overcome. It is all about mental, and it is about physical when it comes to some pieces of it, because it's addiction. But mental is big. Like, what is keeping you at the root in that situation? What is making you continuously go to food for comfort? What is making you continually go to drugs for comfort?
Enjoyment. But it's not really enjoyment if you got to keep going at it.
Mm-hmm. It's not enjoyment, though. It's not. I don't think it's enjoyment.
It's not. But that you feel that way, I'm telling you, I've been there.
But I think it's the relief you feel,
and then you get to forget for a momentarily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You get to be in that space.
Yeah.
But it don't last.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't last, and it's very taxing on everyone around you. Drugs are
Medicine.
really, really a powerful thing because it really does put you in a cycle
Mm.
of, you know,
Illusion.
yeah, yeah. You think people
Illusion.
seriously, that's true because
Illusion.
people think that they are looking good and they putting on airs and what's going on with that tongue?
It's just
Putting on airs. I
Be
want
my
what you
tea.
have with your mom. I know, Terry. I understand that. And we are here for you 100% because Terry hasn't talked to her mom in many years because of her issues. And it's painful. It's super painful. And I don't think people understand. One of the reasons why I think I felt so strongly about the anger, I was so angry for so many years, aside from my mom feeling neglected and abandoned by my mother and father, people really were judgmental about the circumstances. You cannot judge me. You've never been in my position. You may not have had one parent, but you had a parent. I didn't have either parent. And the parent that I had was extremely emotionally unstable.
Mhm.
And you don't know what that's like to be ostracized from all your family and be with an emotionally unstable parent who that's a whole nother. That's why I gotta write a book.
Sunday.
That's why I gotta write a book because that's not even stuff that I can even compartmentalize on camera for y'all. So because I'm still working through it. But Terry, you know what? I get it. I get it. It has been something that, and it's crazy because I don't like to put a lot of pressure. And my mom can attest to this. In the time that we have even tried to work on our relationship prior to this year, right? I never wanted to put this extreme pressure on her. Like I never was like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this. I really wanted her to do it on her own because I learned through therapy that I could not do that. I couldn't get sober for her. I couldn't want her more than her. She had to want it. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because there are people who truly feel like they have more entitlement to my mother than I do. They should have more entitlement. And it's because of their comfort with her, how long they've been with her, and they feel like I'm an immediate threat to that, which is
crazy,
which is literally insane to me because I'm like, I don't do anything to anybody. I mean, and I feel like I love them all as well, but I think a big issue with me is I think sorting out what's healthy and not sorting out what's healthy for me and what's not healthy for me has been detrimental to the relationships because I recognize that a lot of the things that I encountered in their presence was not healthy. And for a long time, I thought it was perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. I will tell you, I'm triggered by a lot of things. One of those things is arguing. I do not like arguing. And I found that a lot of people,
nobody hear each other.
A lot of people like to yell, scream. And I think you can have disagreements without arguing. A lot of people like to yell, scream, and get all boisterous. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't want it. It's not worth it to me. It's really a wild situation, but I'm very grateful for growth and for that. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that parents don't realize how much they impact their kids, or maybe they do, and a lot of people just were not ready to have kids at all. They shouldn't have had kids and should have stopped at one, should have potentially not had any. They just are not. They're not there.
I only got one.
They're not there. They're just not there. They're not. My grandma used to always say, even with her mental health, my grandma used to always say that you can have a child, but that doesn't mean you're a father or a mother. And that's true. It does not mean that you are capable of really giving a child the love that they need. Children are a lot of work. They take attention. You have to teach them. You have to be patient. You can't just say, oh, I'm done raising this kid now. Like, you can't just take a break because they're still going to need you.
Exactly.
And so it's important. I can remember times when I was in downtown Brooklyn going to like adoption seminars and meetings and didn't really know at that time, but that's what was happening. But, it's all been very traumatic to me. Like, and I don't mean to say this to try to get sympathy. Like, I really don't. But to understand me is to truly understand every layer. Someone who has dealt with that level of rejection, abandonment, neglect is going to have a hard time communicating with people, especially people that are familial, because those are the people you think would come and protect you. And I think for many years, I wished that someone or thought someone would come and rescue me like a superhero. Or I would look at other families and I was just literally jealous of other families. Like, oh gosh, they have this, and they have at least one loving parent, somebody who will make sure they have the things they need and tell them they love them and tell them and give them hugs, and doesn't have abuse in their home. And from my perspective, right? Not saying I knew everything that was going on with people, but these things really, really took a toll on me. And through that, anger progressed and became other things. So I just say that it's important for me at this point to just protect my peace. And I'm not trying to do that at the expense of hurting others, but I'm also not willing to sacrifice myself for anyone at this point, because I've done it for too long. It's not something I'm interested in anymore. I have such a difficulty with so many things that I can't take anything else on. It's very, very difficult for me.
And me too, trust me.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Well, just doing a little too much outside of myself. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. The pressure is, let me tell you, it's
a bus.
Yes. It's good to have responsibility. It's good to know that you have goals, but to put too much pressure on yourself can be really, really dangerous. You have to take it easy. You have to take it one day at a time.
Very slow.
And walk slow. Like, don't put a lot of stress on yourself. Don't try to overcompensate. Just do it. Take it one day at a time. I found that meditation, prayer, yoga is good for me. Going through that, gym, activity. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more on Tuesday about my nutrition, and then next Tuesday about activity. But it's very important.
And I happen to love the animals and the birds and everything about nature that I didn't even think that I really enjoyed, but I love it now.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with it.
And how do you think that you were able to come into
just watch the amazement of animals?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't talk much, they don't speak much, but you can see everything in them when you clearly slow down enough to see it. They can talk to you right there without talking to you.
Which is probably why I have found so much solace in nature. Because it just allows you to be one with yourself, to sit there and just cry. To sit there and just release that whatever, the emotion, the anger, the disappointment, the upset. I've had over 25 years of disappointment, 26 plus years of anger, sadness, dealing with depression and different mood swings, and being confused about my feelings, and then being angry about my confusion. I mean, you guys, it is really a lot of changes you go through. And so when people, the professional help, and sometimes it's important to get that addressed professionally before you talk to someone else, because you may not say the right thing or do the right thing by somebody if you not coming, if your heart is not where it needs to be.
That's all I'm saying.
If your heart does not need to be. And that's another reason why I won't talk to somebody if I can't tell that they've been working on themselves. Because I already know your heart is not where it needs to be coming at me.
Hello.
Because if it was, you just would speak totally different. I'm not trying to tear nobody down, but I am going to keep it real. I'm going to tell you what the heck I feel. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing at this point in my life, because I feel like what good does that do anybody? We all have secrets. None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect, right?
All of us.
But I'm not. That's not what it's about. It's not about.
It's okay.
And it's not about trying to make other people comfortable. It's about me.
Healing self.
Healing self. So, and like she stated,
So,
like Patricia stated, self-preservation. Ebony said,
yeah.
"Hey, Bam, you and Mama look beautiful." Thank you, Ebony. Thank
Thanks.
you. We are just up chilling.
Yep.
We're not doing too
Bust
much.
the movies down.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta finish watching Avengers Endgame. We love Avengers. And one thing that's super beautiful about our relationship is how similar we are.
And from afar.
Because there's a lot of things, and it's not like she taught me these things, but from ideologies about life to the movies we kind of like to watch. I mean, the things we like.
So much that you have in common.
Good Terry. Good Terry. She said, you make me feel hope, and thank you. You're so
always
welcome.
Hope. Always hope.
Always hope. And it gives me chills, like literally, because I never thought that me and my mom would be sitting at this table like this talking to y'all ever in my life. Ever in my life. My dad called the other day on FaceTime. Okay, now if y'all know anything about my daddy, electronics is not his thing, but he called us on FaceTime and he was so happy to see my mom, and I think he's always thought a lot of my mother prior to some of her issues, and even with the issues. So it's just something that is just not conceivable to me. And I honestly let it happen. I didn't force anything. Exactly. I didn't say,
make no calls.
But over years, I gave effort. I put my effort out there. I expressed how I felt. So, it's really a beautiful thing. It's really a beautiful thing. If you're just coming into the video, like the video. We probably aren't going to stay on much longer unless we can get to about 10 likes. We know that you guys probably have a ton of stuff planned today. And Mom wants some chopped barbecue, so trying to run up to Smith. Run over to Smithfields. I had gotten some chopped barbecue last week, and so we're gonna go over there and have some chopped barbecue. I will tell you guys, I have been really struggling with my eating this week, and a lot of it is because my mom is not on the same plan as me, and it's not trying to blame it on her, put that pressure on her, because honestly, I have to learn how to do this on my own, just like. With addiction, any addiction, drugs, you cannot tell somebody, because you have to put yourself in that position. Now, obviously, you should remove things out of your environment that you can't handle, but it's more difficult with food. And that's why food addiction is a whole nother level. People don't realize how difficult it is.
Available in every aspect.
And it's not frowned upon or anything that you got to do in secret. You don't have to sneak around about it. So it's very, very accessible, and it's hard. It's super hard. This is a hard thing. But as I said earlier, I think it goes back to mental. So, when you can kind of get that mental aligned, then 125 now and then gain 50 back. Oh, Terry, you can join it is okay. You can join the weight loss challenge as well.
Still work on it.
You guys can email lovebambina2@gmail.com. We're going to start a group so we can, and it's an app you can download on your phone, GroupMe, so we can stay in contact, so we can encourage each other. The winner would definitely win something, but GroupMe is what you would need to do. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing, you guys. But it's a thing when it comes to weight loss. It's so
tricky.
It's so tricky. It really is about feeling motivated enough to get yourself up and do it every day. I would be more than happy to have you. So yeah, email me. I'll try to pin my email to this video when we're done, so that way you guys can come on at your leisure and send me your usernames for GroupMe. Sorry, I keep saying Google GroupMe, so we can do this together. But I'm just ready to really leave some of that behind, to shed some of this weight that I picked up as a comfort to deal with these issues. I'm ready to kind of do that. I don't want to be sad anymore. I don't want to look at myself and not recognize myself anymore. Nothing wrong with being healthy. like a healthy weight or a plus size girl, but I just don't want to carry unnecessary weight that would lead to me being unhealthy. So,
and that's clearly the issue.
Yeah.
Because it'll bring about a whole lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want that, do we?
No.
The sugar, the high blood pressure,
right.
The extra.
Right. We don't want no parts in
None of that.
So,
that's what's killing our people.
That's right. That's right. And
so, sorry to cut it off, but it's still Black History Day month. Let's give big up to that.
Okay.
Our
Happy
people
Black
have
History
struggled
Month.
to get better and better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We can't not recognize them.
You know what? And that's really real. That's a whole nother aspect.
That's right.
To address that
that's
we
right.
have to
this
be thankful for everything.
Okay. Because
it
wasn't always that way.
Us.
It wasn't always that way. We
right.
weren't even free to do this here.
Okay.
Or a whole lot of people would have sat down.
That is a word.
Hello, somebody would have sat down.
That is a word.
They always felt threatened.
So, yeah, guys, I'm very thankful that you come here and that you talk to me and you see me and you hear me and give me good vibes and positivity. Nothing. Important. I don't take anything for granted. Anybody who is engaging with me in a positive way, you matter to me. Understand that you are really, really impactful in my life and
reaching out. Okay.
Having someone tell you that you matter, having someone tell you that you are powerful, you can overcome, it does. It really does change. So every one of you that are still here, understand that I love you. I love you. You know, you are important to me. And it's going to be a journey. You know, I'm going to keep this up. It doesn't matter if there's only 2 people watching, 3 people watching. This is us. It's our intimate conversation.
Come Sunday, we
here. We are here.
It's a commitment.
So whatever you guys need, if you want to email me at that lovebambina2 at Gmail, you want to ask me questions or my advice on how I feel about something, I want you to do that. I want this to be a space for us, for you. So I'm glad you like them, Terry. I also enjoy them. I think that they're very beneficial.
We need to come together
real
and help
time.
Each other.
Yeah.
Come together and help each other. That's all it's about.
That's right. As I've said many times before, I believe the Creator has put us on this earth so we can help each other. There's not one thing that we can do by ourselves. I think a lot of times people feel that when you are blood relatives with someone, or when you have, you know, brought someone into the world, that you have to you automatically have a connection with someone. No, it has to be built. It has to be nourished. Any relationship. And so I feel that people who make choices to be in my life sometimes are more impactful than people who are relatives. And that's not to shade anybody at all. That's literally just saying that you making a choice to come here every Sunday and have a conversation with me and give me feedback. Give me feedback about life and what you feel. That means so much, because it's not something you you're obligated to do. It's not something you were born into to do. Mm-hmm. You are making a choice to do that. And that's why they say people you choose sometimes can become more like family than actual family. Because I think that sometimes actual family feels entitled.
Some type of way.
It can feel entitled or feel like you have to address them in a certain way. I can't tell you how many times I've heard of parents mistreating their kids, and then later on the parent says, "But I'm your mother." I don't give a flipping flying nothing. If you're not acting, if you're not loving on me like a mother should love on me,
move on.
We appreciate you too, Patricia. Thank you so much for that. You. The kind words and everything. We love you guys. If there's something that you want to talk about next Sunday, let me know. Momma Bambina is actually going back to New York. Well, this is home and New York is home for both of us, but she's going back to New York this week. But she will be back for Sunday. Coffeetyme. So if you guys,
kitchen table.
Okay. So if you guys want to have
anything you want to talk about, right?
Conversation. That's right. Tell to us. Let us know. Obligated. Okay, Terry. They feel obligated, and don't you let people make you feel that way. You don't have to respond or talk to anybody, especially if they are not pouring into you. And even your relationship with your mom. We will continue to pray that she will soon see that, but you make sure you self-persevere yourself. You self-preserve yourself. Excuse me, not persevere.
But I need to say one thing. Just because you don't see it on the surface, don't mean it's not there.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Okay.
I'm a mother that was away for a long time.
Yeah.
Don't mean you're not there, but continue to hold on.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about that soon and why somebody would stay so far away and so hard. Because I remember Terry saying one time that her and her mother can't be around each other for more than a couple of minutes. And that's how me and my grandmother were. We couldn't be around each other for more than an hour before she would, because she was so strong. She was so strong-armed. Everything she said was right. And she didn't allow people.
And that's ridiculous because you're not always right. Everybody not always damn it right.
Right. Right. Not even me. Not even you.
Exactly. No one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's to seek out truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just for the moment. Truth. Indeed.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Now, I wanted to ask you guys, would you prefer this be more midday or is 10:30 a good time? So I want to get feedback on that. You can send it, you can drop it in the chat or you can tell me in email. But I just want to know what time you guys would work best. We could even push it back to like a noon. If that would be better. Me and my mom are both kind of earlier birds, so we tend to get up very early.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever I can do to Terry, of course, yes, absolutely. It's impactful to me. It's enriching to me. Let me tell you something about being an empath. Sometimes I feel things about people before they even share it with me. Last night, and it's becoming stronger as I'm getting older. Last night I met like 3 individuals and I told them something about themselves before they even said it to me. And they were like, I wish I could have just said it before you said it, but so you don't think I'm BSing you. And I'm like, I don't think you're BSing me. I know what's up.
You can feel it.
I know that you are going to be okay. I feel like you have sowed enough wonderful, beautiful seeds to be okay. Before we close out tonight, I don't know what people's spirituality, religion, faith is, but I just want to take a moment to meditate and to just be quiet. And, we're going to come together and just say a quick inspirational statement. Creator, whomever, we appreciate this time to come with people who love us and just talk about our healing. We reach out to you so humble. We reach out to you, our hearts full of love. We would like the most understanding of what we're going through and to help us this week to continue and just do everything in your will, in your name. It just give us the strength, give us the power, give us the discretion to kind of filter out the negativity and reach higher to you and your being so we can really be higher beings that were designed the way we're supposed to be. I ask this in your name. Hallelujah. Namaste. Amen. Alhamdulillah. Whatever it is.
Just give your thanks and praise to where it belongs.
Oh, Patricia, okay. So Patricia says she's usually up a little later, truthfully, like 11-ish. So we can come. No, well, we came on like 10:40, but we could do probably like 11:30 or like 12. That might work out. Yes, well, she said that. So that's good feedback. Thank you so much, Patricia. So we are going to go on probably next week, a little bit later, about an hour later, maybe 11:30 a.m. So, and try that out and see how that works out for us. Because we definitely want to touch as many of my beloveds and loves as possible.
All day long. All day long. And night too.
Yeah.
But all day long, clearly, when we come to the table.
For sure.
We talk about the things going on with us.
For sure. So, again, we love you. Appreciate you coming into the video. Please like the video, comment, subscribe, share, all of that. I will tell you guys my goal right now. I believe I'm at 300 and let me see. Because I know, people support in all different kind of ways. So right now I'm at 398 subscribers. I am hoping to get to 450 by the end of March. I would like to get to 1,000 by April, June. And I know that's a lot, but you guys can help me by sharing, liking the videos,
telling what you want to talk about,
and checking out, telling me topics that interest you or things that you want to talk about. What is the most impactful to you, what you want to hear, questions, excuse me, for me or my mom.
Mhm.
I know I'm an open book. I'm probably a little bit more open than mom, but that's just because I have just been
Done a
so
more healing
closed.
for so long.
And I have done a lot more healing. As I stated, I've been in really, 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 really intensive therapy, especially over the last 7 years. Yeah. So whatever you guys need, we're here for you too.
But I've been in therapy too.
Yeah, but
just
you gotta want it.
non-script.
You gotta want it. And
Non-script.
yeah, but mine has been intensive because I wanted it. And I think it's different when you paying a coin for it and when you're not. It makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
Makes a huge difference.
So
because
talk about
I
what you need to talk about.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Anyway, guys,
we're gonna say
love you so much, and we will see you next time for Coffee Time next week, Sunday at 11:30. See ya.
Peace.
Peace.